Introducing new Moth Be Gone. Welcome back to WETT The Splash, the home of all your naughty little secrets.
We are live from the scene of the accident, and the death toll has climbed to a staggering rate.
Welcome back.
Hey. Oh.
You know, I was thinking about it. I would listen to WETT The Splash.
I would too.
I bet that'd be fun. That would be even a fun show to do. Like, can you imagine if I did like my own version of Loveline?
Yeah.
Where
You just go online and there's a lot of material to read from for sure.
No, like we have people like call in. Like, I don't know if you ever heard have you ever heard a Loveline radio station before? And it's pretty, so it's usually like a late night thing
Sure.
where you'll
Makes
have
sense.
just some like smooth voiced fella who's talking the fucking, he's the host, and they'll have people call in and like tell a story about how like, their boyfriend is cheating on them, but at the same time his dick is like 11 inches and he has good money. So then the guy has to like break down like why that's still not okay.
Yeah. It's like, listen, motherfucker, he's using the shit out of you, though.
Look, I get it. Huge dick, lots of money.
Uh-huh.
You're gonna get it. You're gonna get it sick.
Yeah.
You're gonna get a UTI.
Yep.
You're gonna get the herp. I got a cold sore right now. They're gonna get the herp. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, man,
Yeah.
you just gotta figure it out.
Yeah. And if you do get the herp, I would go to Black Tie CBD. I
And use
think
thick one.
I think that's the way to go. Is if you have herpes specifically, not syphilis, not HIV, not AIDS,
not meningitis.
if you have herpes, you need to go to blacktiecbd.net and use promo code THICK1 for 10% off.
Get yourself a little something nice.
They don't sell herpes medication per se, but they sell you stuff that'll make you not think about it for a while. And I think that's all what we really want.
Yeah, indeed.
We just want a distraction.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? If your leg was on fire and the fire was out and now you were just in burning pain and there was a distraction, are you even in pain anymore?
No.
Is there anything really wrong with your leg if you can,
No.
if you're not thinking about it?
No.
That's what Black Tie CBD is here to offer you. You know what I'm saying? Black Tie CBD, it's the kind of place where you can sustain a gunshot wound and just go,
There's not a
fine.
problem. There's no problem.
I got this fucking Mary's natural topical cream. You can rub it around the wound, take a couple drops of tincture, maybe even smoke some bud. They've got beautiful bud.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So, that's what I'm saying. If you
Black tie.
if you get into a horrific car accident and maybe like the glass shatters and takes out one of your eyes and like, like the steering wheel, the airbag doesn't deploy and you break your fucking collarbone on your steering wheel and bash your head up against that shit, Black Tie CBD will at least sell you some quality CBD for 10% off. And I'm sure if you actually messaged them and said all of that happened, they'd be like, whoa.
Well, bro, like,
And
are
then
you in
that's
the
it.
hospital?
Yeah, we're not. That's it. You can still use the 10% off, but they're not.
Yeah.
We're not. I'm not saying go to Black Tie CBD with your horror stories and to expect things.
I mean, you'll have to negotiate that yourself.
Yeah.
Man,
But if you're having a horror story happen in your life, I would definitely go to Black Tie CBD.
Indeed.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not all butt sex is gay. Black Tie CBD, 10% off.
Black Tie CBD, where we distract you from the real world problem.
Yeah, that's all we really needed. Dude, so speaking of distractions.
Okay.
I had this weird ass thing happen to me this week.
Oh, boy.
So I was in this person's attic, right? Because I work for a pest control company called Rappigon.
Yep.
And so I'm up there, and I'm like rolling around. I'm in this fucking attic. I'm looking for fucking vermins. And
Vermins.
I notice when I climb down that I have a message from Cody.
Yes.
And the Cody says, "Sweet, congratulations again, buddy." And I was like, "What?" Did I like? At first, I'm like, were we having a conversation that ended abruptly, and then days and or weeks later, he's finally responding?
Yeah.
Like, what does this mean?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So I open the message, and I'm like, well, what did I say? So I scroll up, and it's a picture of a woman that I do not know holding a baby that I sent to him.
Oh, yeah.
That I sent this picture to him.
Right.
And he said, sweet congratulations again. I don't know this woman.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know this baby. You know what I'm saying? I was in an attic.
Okay. Yeah.
So my first instinct is, who the fuck is that?
Yeah.
Why is this happening?
Yeah.
What is going on? I don't know who that is. And it's just like, my sister just had a baby. So he thought that was a picture of my sister with a baby.
Oh, okay.
Turns out what it
right.
really was a complete stranger that I've never met before.
Oh.
So what happened was, my phone in my pocket opened up Facebook.
Yeah.
Opened up Kelly's Facebook, her page, because Kelly posts a lot of shit on Facebook.
Yeah.
Kelly posts a lot of shit on Facebook.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So I constantly get notifications, and it's great because she posts a lot of wholesome shit. It's usually pretty cute or funny.
Yeah.
But Kelly posts a lot of shit on Facebook.
Yeah, indeed.
So my phone opens Facebook, and I would imagine it probably hit notifications. Kelly's name is going to be at the top.
Right.
It goes to Kelly's profile. It somehow scrolls down. It picks one of Kelly's family members that had a baby. It opens their profile. It opens their profile picture. It opens the share tab. And it chooses Cody.
Oh, interesting. Okay,
So-
I can see how this followed. Okay, that's weird though.
Yeah, because I'm in, like, again, my phone's in my pocket.
Yeah, I was thinking you saved it somehow
No.
in there, but
No, because I don't even know who this person is.
Right, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm in a fucking attic. My phone's in my pocket, and the heat from my ass, because it's hot up there, is enough to register on the phone.
Yeah, I bet.
And press buttons.
I bet. Yeah.
So I, as confused as could be, had to break down the crime scene on how this entire thing went down.
Like, what the fuck?
In fact, I want to read what I said to him, because I was so confused. I'm still kind of confused, but I understand at least now. So, all right, here we go. Cody. So, as you could see, it's a picture of just a chick with a baby.
Yeah.
No context. Our last conversation was like...
Cody's all so sweet.
Our last conversation was literally like a whole week before that.
Yeah. Side note for those who don't know, Cody is the
he's the host
of
on City Bumpkins. Yes, yeah. So sweet. Congratulations again, man. And I responded, I am so confused. And he goes, what? And I said, how many fucking buttons did my ass just press? Who is this person? I'm deleting Facebook and throwing my phone into a river. and he
wrote, like, what?
I assume that it was a lady with a young child, so that must be your new niece. And I put, I've been crawling around in an attic all day, and apparently my phone had its own plans.
Yeah, I believe it too, because I've been a couple times where I pulled my phone out of my pocket, and from the home screen on my phone, it's open up Chrome, somehow got to Facebook. Probably maybe it like was the most recent open window, so just automatically went to Facebook. You know? And I looked at my phone and I found myself like in a comment thread and my phone about to comment something, and it'll usually be like gibberish, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've definitely gotten to a point where I pulled my phone. I'm like, I'm in the middle of commenting on something. What the fuck? What is this?
Yeah, I've had that too. I've had literally the same shit where I'll be in the middle of a comment on like a status. And it'll just be like JF, JJJJJ like 1,000 times. I'm just like, how the fuck, like, how far can that get?
There's multiple clicks.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what if the last thing you were looking at on your phone was your gallery? And you were looking at like fucking...
Oh, yeah, and you shared a
like
bunch of tits or something?
Yeah, or you took a dick pic and you sent it to some girl.
Oh, oops!
And then all of a sudden you're at work and your phone does magic clicks.
To Facebook or something?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, dude.
It's a comment on a Facebook thread or a whole status.
Oh, no.
You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, dude, what if you like sent it to like one of your family members? You know what I'm saying? Because like, as we can see from this, it shared a profile picture of somebody I don't even fucking know.
Yeah.
Which means that's a lot of clicks. Like, we're talking a click to open Facebook, a click to get to Kelly's, a click to get to her cousin or whoever the fuck this person is, a click to open their actual profile photo, a click to hit share, and then a click to hit Cody.
Yeah.
So that's 7.
At least.
That's 7 at least things that my phone had to do. I don't even know how it unlocked itself.
Maybe it was already unlocked when you put your phone back in the pocket. And
that could be a thing.
Never locked, maybe.
That could be a thing.
Slowly it pressed a button over time.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, like, I can see like the screen like tweaking out and, detecting 2 or 3 clicks, and then the 2 or 3 clicks, like maybe the first click registers on Facebook, and then the other 2 clicks register on in that area, and then in that area happened to be the notification thing.
Yeah.
I think the more wild thing of all of this, is the fact that out of all of the photos you could have gotten, it was happened to be a somewhat topical photo to your sister having a kid.
Yeah.
So like it was very coincidental, almost as if some FBI agent just opened up your shit and like, let's just do that one. Let's keep this conversation from my buddy going
it's
here.
Like, why not?
I don't know much about his family, but let's just, this seems like a good conversation.
It's like this guy has a new baby in his life. This is a picture of a lady with a new baby.
Maybe the FBI agent thinks Cody's a pedophile and has been trying to probe him for
They're trying to lure him in.
Yeah, it's just like, and see if this man really is who he is.
I feel like Cody would be one of those guys. You could probably just lure him in with like Chuck E. Cheese coupons. You know what I'm saying? A trail of Lucky Charms.
He thinks Chuck E. Cheese is like a big city eating.
Yeah. They're just like, oh, whoa, we're going out.
Chuck E. Cheese, oh man, where's the fucking rat?
Am I gonna have to rent a suit?
Love you, Cody.
Cody's the fucking man, dude. Okay, so there's something I wanted to get into. This is interesting. So I didn't watch this in particular, but I sent you a link.
Oh, yes.
Steve from Blue's Clues has been in the news.
Yes, he has.
Which, is on par with Steve from Blue's Clues.
Mm-hmm.
Now, so there's 2 videos that have come out. There's this one where this is like the first thing where he's addressed everyone. And then there's a second video where he like recently went on Colbert and was like hugging him and crying and shit like that.
Oh, jeez.
Which makes me think Steve has cancer. And then
something.
Yeah,
for sure.
And then there's been tons of memes about just like adults watching this video and like crying and shit. So I purposely didn't watch it yet because I wanted to watch it on the show and see what the big deal is about Steve's announcement.
Yeah.
Plus, I think how long ago was that? That was like at least 20 years ago, right?
Time
like,
ago.
When did he leave Blue's Clues? I think we were too old by the time he left Blue's Clues.
Yeah. Hold on, let me
look
this up real quick for sure. But he left Blue's Clues because he was doing drugs.
I thought he went to college.
No, that was his excuse on the show. He was doing drugs.
Okay, so he left in 2002,
and the show removed him from. I'm pretty sure.
He left in 2002. So we were 9. We were probably way past Blue's Clues. But so if this is for the 25-year anniversary,
yes,
and it's 2021, that means it started in 96.
Yeah, the show started in the late 90s. Yeah.
Whoa, so we were watching the first episodes of Blue's Clues then.
Yeah. We grew up with Steve, literally.
Yeah, okay.
Which is wild.
I don't know why I kind of thought Blue's Clues was before our time and we were just watching reruns, but
it's the same era of kids shows around that same time, Barney and all that shit, But yeah, so this man sees the state of the world and goes, I need to make it a national address.
Yeah.
Because this went viral in like hours.
Yeah. No, this is huge. So let's see what Steve's got to say.
All right, buddy. Here comes Steve.
Hi. You got a second?
Yes.
I want to make everybody on this podcast cry.
Okay. You remember how when we were younger, we used to run around and hang out with Blue and find clues and talk to Mr. Salt and freak out about the mail and do all the fun stuff. And then one day I was like, oh, hey, guess what? Big news. I'm leaving. This is my brother Joe. He's your new best friend. And then I got on a bus and I left. And we didn't see each other for like a really long time. Can we just talk about that? Great.
Okay, let's pause real quick.
I realized that was
so 2002. So we're 9 years into the we're 6 years into the show's running, and abruptly he just decides, okay, I'm done. I'm gonna go. And the excuse was he went out to college, but you're saying he didn't go out to college?
I could be misspeaking, but I'm pretty sure I heard a long time ago the reason why he left, because it was really abrupt. There was no. I remember specifically some backstory. It was like any other show episode or show run, right?
Yeah.
And instead, it was one episode of him literally just saying, "Hey, I gotta go. This is my cousin Joe," and it was so recent that Joe hadn't gotten his orange shirt yet.
Yeah.
He was wearing a green shirt, which was Steve wore, because he was supposed to be the replacement. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
And he left supposedly because he was doing drugs consistently and it was taking over his life. I don't know if he got kicked out or whatever, but I'm pretty sure he was going down kind of a sticky path, and then he chose to leave to better his health.
Okay.
You know?
I do remember him leaving.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
As a 9-year-old, we weren't watching it anymore, but I definitely remember him leaving and then seeing the episode.
Yeah. There was a generation or two underneath us that were definitely watched that episode.
Yeah.
And people were like, just,
Devastated.
it was left field. It was like, Steve, my boy.
Yeah, what happened? Imagine if you were like 4.
Yeah.
And you were watching this for like a year now, and then all of a sudden he's just gone.
Yeah, he's just like, I gotta go, buddy.
Yeah.
And it's just new fuck. It's just like, hi guys, I'm Joe. And just like,
I don't know if I fuck with you at all, Joe.
Yeah, exactly.
Bring back Steve.
Yeah.
And how hard for Joe. So let's go back like 5 seconds.
Okay.
Just so we're not cutting off randomly here.
Each other for like a really long time.
Okay.
Can we just talk about that?
Yeah. And he pauses to wait.
Creepy
for us to
pedo
respond.
stare.
Great. Because I realized that was kind of abrupt. I just kind of got up and went to college.
So is this Moby?
And that was really challenging, by the way, but great.
What, college?
Because
Rehab?
I got to use my mind and take a step at a time, and now I literally am doing many of the things that I wanted to do.
Heroin.
And then look at you, and look at all you have done, and all you have accomplished in all that time.
Thank you, Steve.
And it's just so amazing, right? I mean, we started out with clues, and now it's what? Student loans, and jobs, and families, and some of it has been kind of hard. You know? I know you know. And I wanted to tell you that I really couldn't have done all of that without your help. And in fact, all the help that you helped me with when we were younger is still helping me today, right now. And that's super cool. I guess I just wanted to say that after all these years, I never forgot you. Ever. And I'm super glad we're still friends.
Hell yes.
Thanks for listening. You look great, by the way. Whatever it is you're doing, it's working.
Thanks,
Oh,
Steve.
okay. So it's for
Hello,
the,
I'm Mark.
Oh, fuck
it was-
off. I don't care
yeah,
about
get out of
ABC7.
here, man.
Fuck off.
But so it's because of the Blues Clues 25-year anniversary. That's why he
Yeah, he came back.
he
And,
did this shit.
Yeah.
So so he's 47.
Yes.
So in 2002, when the show began, no, that's when he left. When 2002, when he left, that would have made him about 26. Give or take a year. So he was right around our age, a little younger when he was doing Blues Clues.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So if he left in 2002, that means he was like 21 or 22 when Blues Clues started.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of nuts, honestly. And if he was on drugs, I feel like Blues Clues would be funner. I'd be, get more into it. You don't have to like worry as much about like taking it seriously. You really can see the blue dog. You know what I'm saying? Mr. Salt and Mr. Pepper really is blowing your mind. I'd be happy about mail too if I was zonked out of my mind all the time.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, I'm sure, like, starting out, it was great, but if that was the case, again, like, I heard this allegedly through some friends and family, like, long time ago. This is before Steve even came back, you know? So it could be misinformation for all I know. You know? But I can definitely understand, like, being a kids show star, especially because like shooting TV shows back then was just like nonstop, episode. So I can see like starting with drugs because you're a child, kid, movie, whatever star, and you use it as like a coping mechanism or some sort of like way to make it more fun because you're it's like soul crushing, like happy, fake happy every day. You know?
because the whole thing was just him,
right? You know,
as far as on the set goes.
And then I could see where the drug habit slowly becomes consuming.
Yeah,
you know,
especially coke.
And then eventually maybe you overdose and things happen where you start to lose your sense of reality a little bit, and people can, you know, it's a domino effect. Everyone has seen drug abuse to some capacity.
It's not unheard of that would be what happened.
Right. So, because it's like it's like he even said it is extremely abrupt the way he left. He like not only did he leave the this I know for sure. Not only did he leave the show the same day, but like he like left the studio within like very like few days after that too. Like he could cut ties. You know, it wasn't like I leave the show and then we have an exit process with the studio. You know, it was I'm bye. You know, goodbye. You know, so
if we look down on the suggested. The top one says what he is up to today. Oh, that's from 4 years ago, though.
Yeah.
Never mind. But
I think he wrote a psychedelic rock album in 2007. Maybe?
Okay.
Or maybe 2000 something.
Let's see. 4 days ago, here's an article right here, what he's doing right now. The show is educational. Burns played, while Burns may not be the host of the show any longer, he has remained connected to the kids' program, writing and producing some episodes while also helping them choose a new host.
Oh, good.
For the revival series in 2019. So he did help with that. Oh, yeah,
they did do a revival series. I forgot that they made a new Blue's Clues, basically.
Yeah. And then he came back to speak in this clip. You know how we blah, blah, blah. And then so I can't tell what he really fucking does because everything says he went to college. This article's too long. And I just wanted him to say what he actually does.
Yeah.
Because I want to know what he actually does.
I'd have to see... more of he's done interviews and stuff, I think, about what his status has been, you know.
Yeah, but so it does look like he's done music, songs for Dust Mites a year after he left the show, with the help of band members and collaborators of the Flaming Lips. And then one of the songs from his album, Mighty Little Man, is the theme song for Young Sheldon. Okay, so his music career wasn't great, but it did he landed something.
He has a song here, he has an album here titled "Songs for Dust Mites." That sounds like somebody who's fucking tripping balls.
He was a TV narrator for a show in 2006. So he doesn't sound like he went to fucking college.
You know, honestly, here's a thought too.
Okay.
Oh, my phone just fucking went off. Sorry. He wasn't old, but if I do recall, like, as he was in early 2000s, he was beginning to get like a widow's peak, if I remember. And I wonder if he got cut because he was starting to not look like a kid anymore. Yeah. Or like, you know, like at least be part of the illusion that he's a kid, you know? So I wonder if maybe like it could have been something as simple as like, hey man, like, you're starting to look like you're old, and
this is for
chill
babies.
We're gonna bring in somebody eventually. So when's that gonna happen? You know, and I don't know. I mean, unless we scour the internet, I don't think we'll ever know for sure. But I feel like it was maybe a combination of him getting older and not fitting the part anymore, because that happens in TV shows all the time.
Well, okay, on that search bar, real quick,
and maybe drugs.
Put Steve Burns, and then Stephen Colbert.
Okay, let me
or Steve from Blue's Clues.
Steve Burns.
Colbert, yeah, right there at the top.
Colbert. Okay.
So he went on Colbert, and looks like the first one is a clip directly from the show.
Let's skip past all this bullshit.
Yeah. Okay.
He talks about Steve, and
talks
play
about
the video.
Steve plays the video,
and then does Steve come out?
Looks like Colbert breaks it down.
Oh, there we go. Here we go. He comes out now.
Okay. Let's see.
Nice message and everything, but the show is for my kids, and I am a man, and by definition, I feel nothing.
Colbert looks like
sure
Steve's
about
dad.
that, Steven?
Oh, there he is. He looks like a fucking rapper.
He does. He looks like Moby, dude. Also, Stephen Colbert and Steve Burns could be related.
I can see it. Steve was all looking at him too, like, "Oh shit, is that Steve?"
Steve from Blue's Clues, who I'm not emotionally invested in. What are you doing here?
Well, I just came by. I wanted to see if you were okay. I mean,
Good for Steve.
you seem kind of upset, and I just wanted to know if maybe
He looks
you
great,
wanted a hug.
honestly.
I mean,
For 47, yeah.
friends do,
Yeah, yeah.
right?
He looks really healthy.
He's definitely bald. The widow's
You
peak
need
thing was
one
not a
of
lie.
Yeah. Aww.
That's cute. So they're hugging.
Steve Burns got his dick on fucking Steve Colbert's fucking desk.
Oh, yeah. They're mashing pictures.
I'm your
together.
best friend, but I'm also dicking your wife. What?
It's a clue.
Oh,
Yeah.
no. No, don't do this
Great
to him.
job, Steven. Let's go tell Blue.
All right, we'll be right back with Sarah Paulson. Let's go.
Sarah Paulson.
Okay.
And that was it. Just a little cameo from him, I guess. That's
Yeah,
nice.
that was
Okay.
that was uneventful for how big the internet's making it.
Yeah. Well,
So, okay.
It's just like, oh, Steve is back. Oh, that's really all it is.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess good for Steve.
Yeah.
I mean, it is weird because I guess we were a little older when he did leave, so it probably wasn't as devastating it is.
Yeah, the way he's presenting himself too, and I'm starting to feel like it might have just been he was just cut from the studio because he was starting to look old.
Yeah.
I'm starting to feel like that might have been the more likely scenario now.
Yeah,
you know?
because I mean, okay, so when we watched the video, if you listen to it from a perspective of he left for college versus he left for drug abuse,
or was doing it. Yeah.
same video has two completely different tones.
Yeah. Well, also like the innuendos he makes could apply to drug use. He is like, I left abruptly.
Yeah.
You know, like I went to college, and that was really challenging. You know,
Yeah.
like,
And it was,
Yeah.
life has gotten hard sometimes.
right. You know, which I
Yeah.
mean it could be wholesome and could just be
That
what
could
it
be an
means,
actual
you know?
college thing, yeah.
But yeah, it could be a drug thing, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I just also it could be a stigma, but I just feel like I'm more likely to tag actors who did children's shows as drug abusers at one point.
Because you kind of have to be.
Yeah, because I don't know, like the thought of me like forcing myself into a fake sense of happiness every time I do every single day for my work,
Yeah.
you know, like not even like the like where we have a bad day and you just have to like force a smile and just be quiet at work. Like you have to come up and be like, you got in a fight with your wife like
Yeah.
that morning, and you have to go like, hey kids,
Yeah, you
let's
have to
go
be-
find clues.
You have to literally
Like,
be cannon fodder worth of good energy.
yeah, dude. Like
You have to be explosively happy.
yeah, or so depressed that the only thing that comes out is happiness. You
Yeah,
know?
like Jim Carrey.
Yeah, or fucking
Steve.
No, yeah, Steve. Right? Well, I can't remember his name right now. Oh my fucking god.
guy?
Does backflips, died, and everything.
Does backflips and died?
Yeah.
Evil Knievel?
Yeah, you're right. That's probably the worst description I had. He was a comedian. He's really famous. He's a big fat guy. He used to do.
Oh, Chris Farley.
Chris Farley. Yeah,
Yeah.
there we go. Thank you.
Jesus.
Yeah. Sometimes, bro.
Chris Farley was crazy depressed.
Yeah, but he was also extremely outlandish in front, you know.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it just I don't know,
Hey,
man.
Tears of a Clown, man, that shit makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense to me.
Yeah, yes, especially for Steve, you know,
Yeah.
because he's not the clown, but he's, you know, in the same vein, I guess.
Well, it's
but-
like, yeah, like imagine like you're 21 years old, right? So you still have the energy to put on a kid's show.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I would say anywhere between like 16 and 23, you can probably be a really good host for a kid's show.
Yeah.
Because there's still a little bit of youth behind your eyes.
Right.
The world hasn't destroyed you yet.
Yes.
You know, you might have had a couple of traumatic events happen.
Yeah, you're still giddy
but those
inside.
are those are the traumatic events that happen to people, not necessarily just kind of the shit that the world will bring upon you on the day to day. And what I mean by that is like, not everybody is going to get molested, right? But most likely everybody will go through a bad breakup
Right.
at one time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? There's things that happen particularly to the individually that's unique. And then there's things that kind of happen to all of us.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
So when you're 21, you haven't really seen all the things that'll happen to everyone.
Yeah.
You know, you haven't had everything and lost it all yet.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So when you're that young, putting on a kid show is probably really nice.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but once now we're talking about 2002, 6 years later, now he's 27.
And you're still doing it every day.
Now he's had his quarter life crisis.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Now he's legitimately thought about where he's at, what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
How long can I keep this up?
How much more he has
Am I
left.
happy?
Yeah.
Do I need drugs to do this?
Yeah.
You know, because 21 and 27 is a very big difference.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And I guess because we're under 30, we really don't know still, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because 30-year-olds are looking at us being like, you don't know shit. 40-year-olds are looking at them like, you don't know shit.
Yeah.
You know, everybody that's slightly older thinks that nobody else knows what's really coming.
Right.
But we're at the age of which Steve left.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why we can speculate on probably what his life was like at that time.
Yeah.
You know, like he was probably making great money because
More
it's
than likely,
Nickelodeon.
yeah.
Nickelodeon was a powerhouse.
Yeah, and Blue's Clues was also a very successful kid show.
Yeah,
You know,
it was a flagship for Nickelodeon, for
Yeah.
Nick Jr.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? For Nick Jr., I probably would have said it had to be up there with their biggest.
Yeah, like Blue's Clues, like your Rugrats, your fucking you know.
Well, even Rugrats, that was regular Nickelodeon programming. I'm talking about Nick Jr. It only came on from like 8 to noon or 1 p.m. On Monday through Friday. And then other than that, it was all regular Nickelodeon scheduled programming.
Right.
Because, you know, this was for the...
Yeah, I can't name any Nick Jr.'s off the top of my head besides Blue's Clues, really.
Yeah, me neither. I mean, I know that they had tons of programming on it. There was like that weird watercolor art shit.
I don't even remember that at all.
Do you remember that? Like, it was like a commercial almost that was always on Nick Jr. And it was like this creepy watercolor guy who like picks up his own paintbrush and paints the scene that they're in with it. And it's all like gross and like the sounds are all nasty because it's watercolor paint.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
As he's painting shit.
Yeah.
But I can't name a Nick Jr. program.
Let's see what was on Nick Jr.
Especially not like, no, you know what? Look up like Nick Jr. lineup 2002. So Nick Jr. lineup
2002. Okay.
2002. So you had Animaniacs.
Oh, yeah.
Wild
Thornberries.
No,
yep.
see this. No, this doesn't. No, this Nickelodeon.
This is 2002 regular Nickelodeon.
Yeah, no, it would have been like Little Bill.
Little Bill. I remember that shit. God
Dora the
damn.
Explorer.
There you go. I got a list of programs broadcast by Nick Jr. Here we go.
Okay.
Upcoming programming. Former programming. There we go. Oh, yeah. Yep. There we go. The Backyardigans. Dora the Explorer. There's Little Bill.
Adventures of Captain Pugwash.
These are 2009. Where's 2000? They don't have anything past 2009.
Baby Looney Tunes.
Did Nick Jr. only start in 2009? I think it did, huh?
No, I'm seeing stuff in 1988.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is not the Wikipedia's fucking
91, something
denying
called
me now.
Brum. Caillou.
Oh wait, that's animated series. That was okay.
Clifford. Clifford was, I guess, a thing.
Clifford was good.
But I would imagine that Blue's Clues was probably one of their
what
bigger
the fuck
shows.
is Blues Room? What the hell?
That sounds like a weird offshoot.
It's definitely Nick Jr. for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like Blue's Clues had a spin-off series where Blue was just the main. What was it, just like half an hour?
Yeah.
Just fucking mind-melting fucking noises. Yeah, you got Wonder's Pet in here, Zoofari, which I don't even know what that is. Where's the old shit on here, dude? I'm getting all like 2016 and up right now. Yeah, whatever. Anyways, yeah, like Nick Jr. I really only again we were like 9 or so, you know. I never really digested anything beyond Blue's Clues, and then when Nickelodeon got really popular, like in Nick Jr. specifically. I think I was old enough to the point where I had rotated over to Toonami. I think it was Toonami.
Yeah,
or,
Toonami was the shit.
Cartoon Network. Yeah, Toonami with the
Dragon Ball
where they
Z.
murder fucking Tom, the robot guy, like 2 or 3 times.
Yeah,
do
every
you
time.
remember that shit, dude?
Yeah, they would whenever they would do like an update where like
They just would murder the
he would get
robot,
killed.
dude.
He would be on a ship, and then somebody would board the ship and kill him.
Yeah.
And then that person would now be Tom.
I remember that shit was horrifying, dude. Like I remember like at one point, the first time they murdered Tom, which I don't know if many people even remember this if they watched Toonami, but I remember it was one day on a weekend. I was just chilling, watching Dragon Ball Z. You know, your fucking Inuyashas, your fucking Code Lyokos, all the other fucking weird shows that were on there. Yu Yu Hakusho was great. Anyways, yeah, the million. Man, that was, I never knew how to say that properly. I thought when I was a kid it was bo.
Yeah.
But I think I just made up that phrasing because it just made sense.
Yeah,
in my
you
head.
just said bo as many times as your mouth
Yeah,
thought
the
was right.
bo. Yeah. Anyways, I'm sitting down watching the show, or the series of shows, and I remember at one point it fades out like it's gonna fade back into the show like it does like in like every other network, you know, but instead it fades back into Tom, and he starts talking about how like there is some weird thing that showed up on his radar or whatever, not sure what it was, and it's like weird slow shots. This is like a 20-minute fucking thing, maybe less than that, but seemed really long. And it's like this whole sequence of Tom discovering he's being boarded, like you were saying, but it's like this slime alien sludge thing that floods his entire ship, and the motherfucker drowns in the slime and comes back out like a new fucking robot, you know, or whatever, or something like to that capacity. But like legitimately, like they show the scene of his panic. They show the scene of it going into the cockpit and surrounding him. They show him drowning into the water. This is supposed to be for like kids,
yeah, this
you know,
is a children's program.
And literally, and I remember just being like, maybe I think like 9 or so, 10, and a little bowl of cereal, and I'm just like dumbfounded. I'm like, what am I watching right
Did
now?
they just kill him?
I was just watching Dragon Ball Z. What the fuck, you know, like. At least in Dragon Ball Z, they just beat you to a pulp and they just pass out because they're tired from the fight. You know, like they just made me watch their animated creation just get murdered. Dude.
Yeah, that I was invested in.
Yeah, dude. Like, and now there's a new Tom that I'm supposed to like now. Like, what is? Are you the real Tom?
He's slightly taller.
Are you an alien? You know, like, yeah, dude. The Toonami was cool, but they had some weird shit. For sure. Like, they had some weird stuff about that.
So
I think he died 2 or 3 times.
I think while we were watching it, definitely at least 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, there's like 4 or 5 mascots versions of Tom. I think.
And each time they get fucking brutally murdered by someone.
Yeah.
There's one where like a dude enters and kills him, and then that dude is now Tom.
Oh, really?
I think it was like the second or third time where it's like a straight up like one robot boards a ship and kills him.
Yeah,
and, like, just kind of takes the seat. Like,
I am Tom now.
And then we just trust him.
Yeah.
It's like, yes, you are Tom now. Yes, we agree.
Oh man!
Can you imagine if that's how they would have
aired it once too?
Can you imagine if that's how they would have done Steve Burns on Blue's Clues? Joe comes in and just fucking
murders
cuts his neck.
him. Yeah, dude.
Just, Steve comes in and just gets his shit kicked in by Joe.
Blue hands Joe some money afterwards.
Yeah. Joe fucking just kicks Steve's shit in.
Oh my god!
Takes off his shirt, takes Steve's bloody shirt, and puts it on himself.
Taking your house, cousin.
Yeah.
Bam.
Yeah, he's like he sits down on the throne and fucking Blue pops up on his lap. Total traitor.
Yeah, 100%.
Just already cool with him.
It's like just cool with the alpha for sure. Yeah.
All right, so Steve was worth at that time.
Oh boy,
he was worth about $10 million.
Damn.
So he didn't get that money from his fucking retard psychedelic album.
No,
he didn't get that money from helping write and produce an episode of 2 or Blue's Clues.
10 mil's a lot of money in the 90s, dude.
That is a lot of money in the 90s.
A lot of money.
Even in the really early 2000s.
Yeah.
It's crazy the way money works. Somebody I was trying to explain that to you.
now.
Somebody the other day I was talking to didn't understand that. They were like, it was only like $20, but we're talking about like 1950.
Right.
I was like, $20 went a long ways.
Yes, it did.
In like 1950. Like,
$1
it's not the same.
Was pretty, well, I mean, maybe $5 was pretty useful.
So he was making good fucking money off Blue's Clues.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of weird to think that he was just went to college.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's actually a good point.
Because even if he wanted to go to college, he made the money to keep doing the show and go to college.
He clearly like had the connections to grow. Like I could see him going to college to specifically grow a skill set, you know, like, but he already had a leg in to the industry, even though it was kid, you know, shows, but he still knew people in the industry.
Then he never really left.
Yeah,
as in like
he was kind of there.
His face was gone, but every now and then he would like write something.
Mm-hmm.
Every now and then he would perform. Every now and then he'd do it said in the thing he was a narrator for one show. He helped pick the host of the new one. He wrote some episodes. He always kind of had his hand in somewhere.
Yeah.
So he didn't. I don't know. That's a weird one because like he was gone. He definitely gave up probably a good thing.
Yeah.
And like I said, being a 26, 27-year-old who had been doing it for 6 years, I'm sure there was some crisis when he turned 25 where he was like, what the fuck am I doing? Yeah. Like I couldn't imagine how I would have felt because you are successful.
Right.
But is that what you wanted was to be the kid? Like there's... It's weird, right? Because yes, you want to be successful. Yes, I would take the Blue's Clues deal if I was Steve. Yes, I would be the host of a kid's show.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, I would have conflict.
Yeah,
internally.
Yeah.
You know, I could be making great money and be the host of Blue's Clues right now.
Mm-hmm.
There's gonna be internal conflict.
Yeah.
It's got to be weird. Like, does everybody think I'm a pedophile? Is nobody ever gonna take me seriously?
Yeah.
Is this what I wanted as a creative?
Yeah. Am I branded as like that nice friendship guy now for the rest of my life? Just because
it is like a weird, because you're getting what you want but not what you want.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be a creative. I want to have my hands on it. I want to be in the industry. I want to have my legacy be remembered as, you know, as an artist and not as the guy who made really good sandwiches at Togo's. You know, but it's not in what you want it to do, particularly.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that's like saying, like, I want to be like a race car driver, like a Formula D race car driver where they do drifting.
Mm-hmm.
And then you just kind of end up like in a different sport, I guess, but still successful.
Right.
I'm a driver. I am a race car driver. I'm making all the money. You know, I'm doing great.
Mm-hmm.
People know my name. There's projected that I'll keep doing great.
Right.
But this isn't what I want.
Right.
So to be true to myself, I'm going to have to give up a good thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I can respect that. But then there's the other weird side. Like, maybe he was on drugs.
Right.
Maybe he turned 25 and he was just like, this is fucking stupid. I hate this. Like, I have to keep doing it. There's nothing else I can do. I have to put on this face because I'm never going to have a shot like this again.
Mm-hmm.
This is like, you know, because, you know, the thought of being him and then saying, I'll just become the host on another huge successful show.
Right.
That's arrogant. And I think, you know, he was smarter than to be arrogant and say that. So it's one of those, like, this is my one shot. This is my chance. This is my 5 seconds of fame. This is my spotlight. This is as good as it's going to get. But I hate it. So I guess I'll just kill my brain with drugs and put on a face for these children.
See, I can see that too.
Because I don't want to walk away from a good thing.
I also don't want to walk away from maybe he had anxiety of people relying on him and stuff.
Yeah, that's weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, even with this show, like, there's maybe a couple thousand people that'll listen to this.
Yeah.
And I still have, like, a weird, like, no, this needs to keep going.
Yeah, like, because you've been doing it for so long, you know, and not only is it a benefit to you, but it's like, even if there was one person listening,
I would still feel like this has to go on.
Yeah, because you're entertaining that. I mean, to bring us into a nerd city, you know, but that's why I do D&D a lot of the time. You know, it's like I love creating the world and I love doing D&D, but a lot of it is really just in service to entertain my friends. You know, like, so when you love entertainment and you love making entertainment, you know, if somebody's listening or somebody's partaking in that in some way, like, that means everything for a creator. You know, like that is like literally the reason why people create. You know, it's the prospect that somebody is consuming what you're creating.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
So yeah, coming from Steve's perspective, like I'm sure that plus the magnification that it's children that you're entertaining, you know, that have some that clearly, as we saw, have an emotional connection to him, you know.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure that was enough, that could have been enough to drive him to anxiety drug
Yeah.
taking.
Yeah, because there's a big difference between hosting a show that adults watch and a show that little kids watch. Because you know the adults don't really care about you.
Yeah, there's enough of
there's interest,
suspension of disbelief.
Yeah,
right?
like there's interest. There's people who are going to be your fans. There's people
Love
that are
your
going to look up
work.
to you and,
Yeah.
or love that you're doing. And,
Yeah, love your work specifically.
yeah, but with kids,
that's
they
who you
love
are.
you.
Yeah, yeah. That's
They
who they think you are.
need you. They love you. They're very connected to you. It's on a whole different kind of level because their emotions are on full tilt.
Yeah,
You know,
Yeah.
an adult has, most adults will have control over their
Right.
emotions to some extent. With a child, no, it's full tilt. You're really happy. You're really mad. You're really sad. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I bet the anxiety level of being like, these kids fucking need me is crazy high.
yeah.
You know, what am I going to do? And then that's probably why he left so abruptly.
Yeah,
It's like you can't sit there and ponder on
phasing
that.
out must have been painful for
Yeah,
sure.
like, holy fuck, dude. That must have been... I probably would have done the same. I think I probably would have just been like...
See ya.
Bye. Yeah, because in the background, he probably helped pick the new host.
Right.
You know, I'm sure that the network, Nickelodeon, had a heads up that this was going to be his last day.
Yeah. The more that we talk about this too, the more I just, especially as we hear that he's continually helping Shadow write at least to a little bit, you know, on occasional times. The more we talk about it, the more it really does feel like that he just had a time where he maybe had a crisis and was like, look, like I need to go on my next stage of life.
Yeah.
But also, I mean, I keep bringing this back up, but it just makes sense as something to lean on that's fair in the game of entertainment, you know, and is that he was just starting to look old. You know, that, like, it was just like, look, man, you're not starting to look apart anymore.
There's an image, you know.
So, I mean, that's a huge part of.
I mean, it could sound fucked up, but you're
you
selling youth.
Yeah. Oh, and like
you can't have Regis Philbin host Blue's Clues.
Like, if you're gonna, like, I mean, for a prime example, you know, you like if your protagonist in a movie is not very attractive looking, just by natural proxy, usually it's not as successful of a movie.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
just how it is. You know,
Yeah.
You can definitely have outliers that are, you know, they aren't like a 10 out of 10 fucking attractive people, you know, and the movie's great, you know, but typically you will hire looks before acting because that is what pulls people into the box office, you know.
Plus,
looks or status, one of the two.
And I think when it comes to kid shows, there's definitely it's a window.
Yes.
You either need to be very youthful or very old.
Yeah,
because you got Mr. Rogers, who was like 1,000, so
or have some weird.
You can't have like a
niche about
35-year-old.
Yeah.
Like that's weird.
There's no way to connect to them, you know.
Yeah. And there's no way for them to connect to you. You know, at least a child, well, not a child, but a youth. You know, an 18-year-old, 19-year-old. Like we said earlier, like they didn't have. The world hasn't torn them apart yet.
Right.
There's still some youth behind their eyes. That's very relatable. And with an old ass person, they've seen it all, so you know they probably like kids. And it's easy. I guess you know the kids look at them and they're like, "Oh, Grandpa, I love Grandpa."
Right? Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Old people are less viewed as a intimidating threat or anything for children, you know, or any kind of, you know, because they're old, you know.
Yeah.
So,
well, fucking shout out to Steve, man. I mean,
dude.
we could speculate all day on what happened. Like, I'm really on the fence, you know, because part of me, I don't think he went to college.
I don't think so
I think
either.
that's bullshit.
I don't think so either.
I think more likely, I don't want to say that it was like a heroin or coke problem either, because it could have been, but I think more than likely he just had a midlife crisis.
Yeah,
and he was like, I can't do this forever.
I have to move on. Yeah.
And then then that would explain why he was just so quickly gone.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Because I think if he was a drug addict, I don't know that Nickelodeon would have let him say goodbye. You know, I think that they probably would have booted him and just had Joe start the episode, and then maybe even tried to pretend because it's children young enough that he's not there, or that he never changed.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Joe comes in and his name's still Steve. He's still wearing the same shirt. Like, they probably could have gotten away with it to a certain extent.
Yeah, that they could probably have done something similar, or they would have cut him quickly to prevent liability issues and the politics of it all, right?
I would imagine with something like a Blue's Clues, your average listener only watches for like 2 or 3 years.
Right.
And then you get your next wave.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it probably would have been really easy to just be like, no, this is Steve. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You could just keep making new Steves.
Found some way to get around it for sure.
Yeah, because Steve doesn't have to be a person. It could be a character. You know, this is person playing Steve. So, I don't know. So, drug addict, maybe, I mean, if they really love the guy, you know, we'll give it a possible. Because if they really love the guy, they would have let him say goodbye, maybe. College, I don't think so, because he went on to make an album the very next year.
Right.
Which, I don't know how you would have had time for that shit.
Yeah, seriously.
If you couldn't do Blue's Clues, could go to college as a millionaire 26-year-old. I don't know how you went to college and made a shit album.
Yeah.
And then ghostwriting in the background the whole time. I think, I'd like to say most likely, like you were saying, maybe he was getting a little too old. Maybe he had a crisis and he was just like, look, I can't.
I need to find a new path and I don't know who I am right now.
And shout out to him if that's how it really went.
Yeah.
Fucking shout out to that's so respectable.
That's hard to do.
That's got to be
to walk away
crazy.
from something that like is giving you a foundation to stand on because you need to find yourself again.
Yeah.
You know, like that's not easy. A lot of people don't have the balls to do that, and like some people get all like cucky about it too. They're all like, like they had a good thing, just nut up and keep working. I'm like, you're a bitch.
Yeah.
You talking like that, you are a bitch.
Yeah.
You know, like that is you running away from your own emotions because you're a fucking little bitch, dude.
Yeah,
like,
in a way, it's kind of giving up.
Yeah, it 100% is.
It's like,
you know?
you're fine.
Like
here,
I used
really?
to. I mean, every dude goes through that. Like, just nut up and just work and do what you want to do. And I'm like, yes, like to a degree, of course. But in his scenario, you know, it was much more admirable of him to if this is the scenario that we think he's following, you know, and it's not heavy drug use or something.
Yeah, not drugs at college.
It is way more admirable to admit that you need to refine yourself again and find what it is that you actually want and willing to put everything on to the side, you know, because you're putting yourself forward, you know.
Yeah.
I think that's putting yourself forward more than the guy who's like claiming that like, I'm gonna nut up and just put myself because I'm getting what I need, you know. It's like, or are you just getting a 9mm and shooting yourself in the fucking shin every single day, you know, and just saying it's fine, I'm fine, I'm not dying, I'm losing my limb but I'm not dying. Steve was smart enough to go, I'm losing my limb right now, I need to do something about it, you know. Like, and I think that's the outlier decision there, you know.
Especially when it comes to a creative.
Because
for when a creative gives up on creating or being creative, that's harsh. Because I think regular because we're not talking about like he got a good job in some office that he didn't quite care for,
right? And
we're talking about
he has time to do everything else he wants to do.
We're talking about a creator who got to live the dream of creating, got paid, got the whole thing, did the whole goal,
got to the top of the mountain,
still decided there's a bigger mountain to climb, and actually went for it.
And walked down the mountain and started on a new mountain. You know, like
that's fucking hard.
Because most people will just be like, nah, I'm at the peak of this, I'm gonna stay here. You know?
So
because I don't think a lot of people don't really realize the impact of what it is to grind for something for so long and achieve it and then realize, oh fuck, this is not actually what I really wanted entirely. It's close, but it's not, you know. A lot of people don't get to experience that, so I think there's a lot of ignorance behind being in that situation, you know, to the point where it's like you get that negative, like, oh, he had everything, why did he give it up? It's just like you clearly have never been in a situation where you've not known what you wanted, you know, like where you've done something that you have sought out for, achieved it, and then been like, okay, this is not as sweet as I thought it would be. You know?
Well, plus, like, if you have everything, but it's not what you want, do you really have everything?
No, of course not.
You know, you can if you have rich in fame, but your goal wasn't rich in fame, then you didn't reach your goal.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, so you know what? This is what we should do. Let's watch it one more time.
Okay.
Now, with the perspective that he went through a quarter-life crisis, and this was his answer.
Yeah, okay. So let me move this back to this audio.
Because when I listened to it the first time, my head was like,
Bam.
you're a drug addict, and that's what you meant by it was hard, was like going through rehab. And then when you think about like college, you're like, okay, it was hard because, I don't know. I mean, you had the money to pay for it, so I don't know what was so hard about it, I guess, besides actually sitting down and committing.
Yeah.
He didn't say what he went to college for, but
No.
I mean, this is for children, so I guess that's irrelevant.
Yeah, so now let's listen to this from a perspective of this is a friend that stepped away to figure themselves out and then came back and go like, hey, man, like, my bad, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I'm still here. We still cool, right?
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
That's
All
kind of
right.
that's kind of like what's going on.
Let's see what's going on here, Steve.
Hi. You got a second?
Apparently, we had 50 minutes.
Okay. You remember how when we were younger, we used to run around and hang out with Blue and find clues and talk to Mr. Salt, freak out about the mail and do all the fun stuff. And then one day I was like, oh, hey, guess what? Big news. I'm leaving. This is my brother Joe. He's your new
brother,
best friend.
not
And
cousin.
then I
I
got
kept
on
on
the
calling
bus
him
and I
Cousin
left.
Joe.
And we didn't see each other for like
Hold
a
on,
really
real
long
quick. Pause
time.
real quick. That's because there was a host who was Steve's cousin, Josh.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Isn't that weird?
No, I didn't know that, huh?
Yeah. So the host in 2019 was Josh De La Cruz or whatever. And that was Steve's cousin, Josh.
Oh.
Yeah. So
interesting.
Josh's brother, Josh's cousin, Joe's brother.
That's fucking confusing.
Yeah.
Okay. Bam.
Can we just talk about that?
No.
Great. Because I realized that was kind of abrupt.
Yeah.
I just kind of got up and went to college.
You did?
He looked around
And,
suspiciously when he said
that was really challenging, by the way, but great because I got to use my mind and take a step at a time, and now I literally am doing many of the things that I wanted to do.
Pause.
And then look at you.
Perfect. I think our theory makes more sense.
Yeah.
Because of that last sentence right there, he says the word college, but he didn't mean it.
Right.
Let's kick it back like 10 seconds.
Yeah.
That right there to me says didn't go to college, but left to do what he wanted and what he thought that he was supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
I just kind of got up and went to college.
Yeah, that's a
And,
euphemism.
that was really challenging, by the way.
Sure it
but
was.
great because I got to use my mind and take a step at a time, and
Create
He
more
got
things.
to heal and
Yeah.
feel, find himself and find his pacing
You
and
got
his
to
footing
make,
again.
Yeah, you got to make that album. You got to get out of the
now I
spotlight.
literally am doing many of the things that I wanted to do.
And he's found himself and he's found what he originally wanted to do.
Yeah,
you
which
know?
wasn't host a kids show.
Or maybe he found something that he wanted to do that he didn't know he wanted to do.
Yeah,
You
well,
know?
it sounded like he wanted to bring joy to kids and create. He just didn't necessarily want to be Steve. He didn't
Right.
want to. He didn't want to be the host of Blues Clues. He
Right.
wanted to create Blues Clues. Mm-hmm. You know, he wanted to provide Blues Clues, but he didn't necessarily want to be.
On the spotlight.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. All right, let's see what we got.
And then look at you, and look at all you have done, and all you have accomplished in all that time. And it's just so amazing, right?
Right?
I mean, we
I don't think I
started
could
out with
walk away
clues,
from that.
and now it's what? Student loans, and jobs, and families, and some of it has been kind of hard. You know? I know you know.
Wholesome.
Yeah. Notice too, when right about there, when he talks about where we started out and then he starts addressing the watcher,
Yeah.
they start doing a very, very slow zoom in on Steve. Here, look.
Yeah. Okay.
So stagnant right now.
I mean, we started out with clues, and now
Here it
it's
comes.
what? Student loans,
See that?
and
oh yeah.
jobs, and families.
that's a
And
technique.
some of it has been kind of hard.
That's a subtle technique to emphasize drama, right?
Yes.
And I think they're using that. I mean, this might be over dissecting, But when he brings up the relation like of what we've gone through, their accomplishment and growth, in a way, I think it's also his way of saying, hey, shit's been fucked up lately, you know, for all of us.
Yeah.
But I don't think you should discount the things you have accomplished since then. The past couple years shouldn't define what you have succeeded in.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
basically what he's saying, more or less.
Yeah, and then
in
they
my
do
opinion.
that slow dramatic pan in.
Yeah.
Like they do when they're trying to really get your attention for
Right.
like a horror movie.
And you don't notice it until it's pointed out, you
Yeah.
know, because it's a psychological thing.
Yeah, you could tell
know?
by the vertical pattern is the
it's
best way to
starting
see
to
that
adjust in. Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's see. Let me click back a couple seconds here.
Jobs and families, and some of it has been kind of hard. You know? I know you know. And I wanted to tell you that
Stops right there.
I really couldn't have done all of that without your help. And in fact, all the help that you helped me with when we were younger is still helping me today, right now. And that's super cool. I guess I just wanted to say
then
that
back
after
up,
all
yeah.
these years, I never forgot you. Ever.
They keep doing this slow pan shit.
And I'm super glad we're still friends. Thanks for listening. You look great, by the way.
Thanks, Steve.
Thank you, Steve.
Whatever it is you're doing, it's working.
I know.
Fourth wall breaker, you.
Yeah. But yeah, so it's he definitely every time they cut in close to his face and they do a slow pan in, it's they're definitely emphasizing that closeness, that the emotional bit of it, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna say he left to better himself.
Yeah, I agree.
think college was a metaphor.
I agree.
For bettering himself.
Yeah.
I think it's easier to say he went to college to a bunch of children than he's trying to figure out who he really is,
Right.
and
Yeah,
he
yeah.
wants to start doing other projects.
Because that's
like,
a huge conversation.
yeah, and that's why, like, because when he says, like, I went to college in this video, he kind of looks around.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And his first thing he also brings up is like student loans. Like, yeah, remember to push that you went to college. Let's not tell them what really happened because that's just too complicated.
Yeah,
Most people aren't going to understand.
Yeah, and he probably was reading from a teleprompter, honestly.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
they attach it to the camera, you know.
Yeah.
But
So I mean, shout out to Steve. Honestly, I think I think the reason he left was probably wholesome.
I think so too.
I'd like to think that at least.
As much as I heard many allegations of drug abuse and blah blah
I heard
blah,
that too. I've heard
sure there might have been a little bit at some point. You know, like I think a good chunk of the world's populace has delved into drugs, whether it was recreational or potentially something that was trying to be used as a Band-Aid. You know.
Yeah.
But I agree with you. I think it's a combination of studio kind of going, all right, man, like you're getting a little old, you know, as far as looks go. I could tell you're not really into this, you know. And he's like, yeah, and then you know, the
He's like, I
conversation
really just wanna
started
make
from there.
music and-
Yeah, like
Yeah.
so I get it, you know, especially because when you work with a production crew, when you work with a team like that that's making creative content, whether it's a kid's show, a podcast, a fucking whatever, you know, there is some sort of camaraderie that is built within that crew, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that there was a conversation about, hey man, like let's talk about your future, you know. It's like we obviously can't do this forever, you know.
Yeah.
So I would like to think, again, we could be completely wrong, and it could be like total fucking.
He could have just went to college.
Batshit crazy. Yeah, maybe he could have just went to college. Yeah, you know,
it's
who
like, you know what? I
knows?
really want a degree in psychology.
Yeah. Hey, tie it back to the last episode where we talked about all psychology, dude.
Yeah, episode 209, psychology is for idiots.
Yeah, fuck psychologists,
Yes.
bro. Like, we babbled a lot about that one, but at the same time, like I think we made the same point that retail sucks. Fuck psychology degrees.
Yeah, exactly.
But, yeah.
Well,
Respect to you, Steve.
Shout out to Steve, man. I'm glad he showed his face. Also, I mean, it didn't make sense until I found out that was for the 25-year anniversary, and he's the original host, so it makes sense.
Right. Yeah.
At first, like, I was like, why did he even
Come back.
Yeah, what was the point of this? Is he bored? Like, does he need attention?
Yeah,
like,
maybe he did all he wanted to do. Like, all right, I'm gonna go back to Blue's Clues now.
Yeah, because he'll, unfortunately, because another thing to take into account is like he's never gonna get past being Steve from Blue's Clues.
He's always gonna have that label.
Yeah. No matter how good he gets at what he does, he's Steve from Blues. Even if it's not entertainment,
right?
You know what I'm saying? If he was the best civil engineer that Bechtel has ever seen, he would be Steve from Blues Clues, the best civil engineer.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
it's like, hey man, we got this crazy civil engineer, bro. It's Steve.
Yeah, hey man, like the other day in our apartment there was a fire, and they had to evacuate the whole building. And I swear to God, on the staircase, holding the door open, fucking Steve. Blues Clues.
Man, Steve, man,
fucking Steve, dude. Firefighter, saved all of our lives.
As if he would have just been in my kitchen playing with Mr. Salt.
Yeah,
Mrs.
Like,
Pepper.
You don't get to not be Steve from Blues Clues, and that's got to suck a little.
Yeah, I mean, like, you'd have to do something not even comparable.
Yeah.
You'd have to do something that was infinitely bigger than Blues Clues.
And that's going to be fucking hard.
Yeah.
Because our generation is the one spending the money right now.
Right.
And we're the ones who know him as Steve.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I would say anybody from, let's say, it was 1996. So anybody born from 92 till 2002 is when he left. Mm-hmm. So anybody born from 92 to like 99, and that 7-year span, all will permanently know him as Steve from Blues Clues.
Yeah.
And those are also the people who are right now from 21 to 28.
That is true. Those are the ones that are
most impulsively spending money.
Yeah, and if they're creatives, they're more likely to be in the industry. You know, so if you were to run into them, you know, again, they would know him as Steve.
Yeah.
So,
oh man, that's gonna suck.
That's
fucking Steve from Blues Clues, and he still looks the same.
At least they used his first name and not a different name than his first. So at least people go, "Hey, it's Steve," and it's like it's your name. You know, it's like someone go, "Hey, John." Like, everyone knows your name. You know, you're just like, "Oh, cool, tight." You know?
That's got to be a thing. Like everybody only knows fucking Daniel Radcliffe as Harry Potter.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? It's fucking Ron Weasley.
I'm sure getting called Harry all the time would piss you off after a while. And all right, dude. Like,
he's the only one that's even really tried.
Yeah.
After the films to try to get his name and acting still.
And
like,
he's done several fucking movies.
Yeah,
before
he'll still always be fucking Harry Potter.
Harry. Yeah.
At least the other actors had the decency to just give up.
After the success of that.
It's like, you know what? After 8 movies, maybe I'm always going to be Hermione Granger.
I made enough money. It doesn't matter no more.
Like, at least Emma Watson's hot, so people will know her name.
It's true.
I can't tell you the guy who played Ron Weasley's name. I don't know Gandalf's name or whatever, Dumbledore.
Shit. I used to.
You know, I don't know Hagrid's fucking name. Now, these are all characters I love, but if I saw them in real life, it'd be Hagrid.
Yeah, what is Gandalf's name / Dumbledore? I swear to God I know his name. It's like something Christopher III or some bullshit.
Yeah. Something fucking dead in the third movie anyway.
Yeah, I think his name. I think that guy's actor's name is genuinely Sir something or another.
That's pretty dope.
I can't. Hold on.
Yeah.
We got. I'm gonna look up.
We're gonna look up who played Dumbledore.
Yeah, Dumbledore.
Dumbledore. Yeah.
Okay, let me. Let's see.
God, that's gotta suck. Yeah.
Gandalf.
Like, is Elijah Wood ever gonna be anything but Frodo?
Ian McKellen, that's right. Sir Ian McKellen, that's right.
That's pretty dope.
I forgot. Yeah, he and the guy that plays Saruman were like homies, you know. So let's see, Saruman.
And he's the guy who played in the first movies before he died, or is he the one that's still alive? Because in the third Harry Potter, the guy playing Dumbledore died.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't think that
which is hilarious because they kill him off anyway in a few more movies.
Yeah, did Ian McKellen die? No, he's still alive.
Yeah, so it was somebody else who died. But either way, that guy's Dumbledore forever.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, even after his own life, he's still Dumbledore.
And you know, it's wild too because he played Gandalf, so I'm sure people know him that. But he also played Magneto in all of the X-Men movies too, which is a very big role.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, like to your point. Maybe now that I think about it though, maybe it's just conditional bias too, you know, depending on what movies you saw more of or first, maybe is what you think of. Because Ian McKellen's kind of the oddball out where it's like he's done huge roles that were also involved in huge franchises.
Yeah, like Hugh Jackman was Wolverine, but he also did a couple other big things.
Yeah, exactly.
But then you look at somebody like Steve from Blues Clues. That's
been 20 only thing he's done. Yeah.
It's been 20 years.
Yeah.
since he was the host of Blue's Clues.
Yeah, dude.
And we are all addressing him.
It's Steve.
Stephen Colbert is addressing him as Steve from Blue's Clues.
Yeah, it's all that's your identity now.
That's who you
so
are.
So if you were trying to escape that,
sorry.
yeah, it's how it is, bro.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, that's got to be fucking dreadful.
Yeah.
Everywhere you go, you're Steve from Blue's Clues.
Especially if you're trying to like grow beyond that. If your motive for leaving was because you didn't want to have that be your identifying career, you know?
Like he still wanted to be in entertainment the whole time.
Yeah.
You're Steve from Blue's Clues, buddy.
That's gotta suck, dude. Yeah.
Like you're gonna audition for a movie, a dramatic role, and you're gonna walk into the audition room.
We're gonna be like, Steve?
Is that Steve from Blue's Clues?
And you're like, son of a bitch.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna take this movie seriously.
Yeah, Blue is fucking
not
here, bro.
You know how big the budget is on these things? I'm not gambling with Steve from Blue's Clues.
Yeah, dude.
In The Conjuring 4.
That's got
you know,
that's
like,
gotta be terrible.
Yeah.
You know. I wonder if that was part of his healing, going with like the finding yourself theory. You know, I wonder if accepting that that's always going to be part of him was part of his moving on process or something.
God,
maybe.
I would fucking hope that he did, because
like
not accept it.
Yeah.
It'd be a lifelong battle.
To be coming back and still in the back of his mind be like trying to contest against the Steve persona.
Yeah.
You know?
You're a 50-year-old who's up against the 19-year-old version of yourself. And the 19-year-old version is winning by a mile.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
you know?
that's got to feel like you peaked too, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure deep down inside, and I'm not saying this is true about him, but I'm saying that his mind has definitely a few times thought, like, I've already done the best I'll ever do. I'll never be as big as Steve from Blue's Clues. My life is over. I'm 32.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Now he's 47. And the biggest headlines he's made since being Steve from Blue's Clues
is coming back as Steve from Blue's Clues.
Is a 1:40 long video that he did as Steve from Blue's Clues.
Yeah, if he was trying to escape that is he has walked back into hell in a weird way.
Yeah.
Or he's using that as a leverage to like, hey, I still exist.
Yeah.
And then, but I'm not gonna do Blue's Clues ever again.
Yeah.
But hey, I'm still alive.
Here's my album, by the way. I was Steve from Blue's Clues.
Yeah, remember me? I'm not doing Blue's Clues, but I'm for hire.
Yeah. God damn it, poor Steve, dude.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get into this next article here, because this was sent to me a few weeks ago. And
oh yes, I took a glance at that headline.
This was sent to me by more than one person, and I hadn't addressed it yet. So I apologize that this is so late, but there's no way we're not talking about this. Man cuts penis off and throws it out car window amid police chase
to save
the world. Now, here's what's weird to me. Is in the same week we had this other article that we're not going to talk about, but I just want to read the headline here. West Virginia man chasing family with an axe has to kill them to get the demons out.
Oh.
So people are hearing weird shit
Yikes.
and acting upon it.
Yeah.
Also, real quick, we're not going to get into it, but another funny headline I have here. Tree falls on house and breaks open a honeycomb, releasing hundreds of angry bees.
Oh, no.
That is so...
Yeah.
What a fuck you from God.
Yeah. That's like go inside your bedroom and don't come out for a while.
Yeah, dude. Hundreds... Not only did you just lose a big chunk of your house...
You're being assaulted by bees.
Hundreds of bees that are blaming you for God.
Yeah.
But...
Oh, my God.
Nothing comes as close as Mr. Tyson Gilbert.
Fucking chopping his dick off. Dude.
Tyson Gilbert, 39, allegedly claimed that the voices on the radio told him to do that.
Oh,
so
it's so
he
interesting.
heard the radio told him to cut his dick off. So when I pulled up behind him and turned my lights on, he took off and refused to stop, said Deputy Johnson. He turned, wow, the guy's name is Johnson, and we're talking about a guy throwing his dick at people. He turned off an old Liberty Road and came to a stop. He opened his door. He was naked and covered in blood. He then shut his door and kept driving. So that's weird. So
idiot.
That sounds like his dick was already cut off.
Yeah.
So he got up and did a lap, and then just got back in the car and kept driving. This
dude has to be on so much PCP or something.
So the first spike strips got one of his front tires, and the second one got the other tire. After that, it became a slow speed pursuit with him, running on his rims until we boxed him in.
Oh my God.
Also, I know somebody took PCP once, and he said it was like his spirit was projecting over his own body.
Yeah.
And that he was watching himself from third-person view.
Yeah. I can see that for
That's
sure.
fucking wild.
PCP makes you do crazy shit.
Yeah, it makes you seemingly invincible, too.
Yeah.
Let's see. Cops took him into custody, and he was admitted into the Vanderbilt University Medical Center. It is not immediately known if his penis was retrieved or reattached.
To be reattached, yeah.
He was he was charged with 3 counts of attempted theft of property, resisting arrest, and attempted theft of services. So okay, he wasn't charged. He wasn't charged with cutting his dick off and throwing it at an officer.
Just resisting arrest and attempted theft of services. That's it.
Huh.
And theft of property. And for that, it is a bond of $61K.
Wow. Scroll up a little.
Damn, nobody's fucking getting that motherfucker out.
Let's see. State Highway Bobby Johnson, which is a rapper's name, was the first to spot him and covered in blood after he severed his penis.
Jesus Christ, dude.
I
don't care like how good the drug is.
Scroll
if
up a
you
little
start fucking
Yeah.
reinterpreting radio voices as voices talking to you specifically, and you hear weird shit, I
Yeah.
that's I don't know, man. Like,
So
I can't imagine.
So I don't see in the article why they originally were pulling him over, besides maybe the fact that he had like warrants. But
he's stealing something.
Maybe he stole the car he was
Yeah,
in.
maybe they found him. Or
I mean,
some
he's got
shit.
3 counts of attempted theft of property. So I mean, he was definitely all right. So he was definitely stealing shit, and the cops were called to come find him. And then when the cops show up, he decides, because the radio tells him, to cut off his dick and throw it at the cops to save the world. So
Jesus Christ.
So okay, let's break it down in the drug addict's head. I think whatever the radio was saying, I don't know what he was. Okay, I don't know how he was gonna save the world in particular.
Yeah.
I don't know what threat was coming against the world in which he, in particular. First of all, he looks like a time traveler.
Yeah.
If you look at his mugshot, he definitely looks like a time traveler.
Yep.
He looks like he would be the guy that gets sent back to save the world. He's kind of got like an innocent fear in his eyes. He almost looks like if Tom Holland was in Lords of Dogtown. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like he's got an innocence and fear.
I don't know. If that was the guy, like, I'm from the future, I'd be like, you're fucking crazy, dude.
Oh, he's definitely crazy. So I don't know why or how he was going to save the world, but I can see how throwing your dick out of a window would get you there.
How?
Because what better distraction than a severed cock hitting your window? If I was a cop, I'd pull over and throw up and collect it.
I mean, it would get you away from
one
cops,
cop,
maybe.
One cop,
maybe.
Yeah, for a little while, until they dispatch what kind of car you have,
yeah,
the license plate, what
but you
road
ain't
you're
saving
on.
the world from doing that, homie.
Yeah.
You know, like, God damn. At least, like, be like, don't just be like, that's like a great idea, and do it. Be like, okay, you know, at least convince me or give me a rational. I guess rationale's out the window when you're on all kinds of PCP. So.
Well, I'm also, I mean, like, imagine you were convinced that right now, like, okay, let's say you're in your car and you're being pursued by the police, and you 100% believe that you're en route to save the world.
I guess.
And that there's no way these police are going to believe you. And so, like, all you have is, like, one Hail Mary, and you cut your own dick off and throw it at the cops. Now, this is what... Okay. So when you jerk off, right?
Uh-huh.
Your dick seems to be in some form of sleeve that is your skin.
Sure.
Because you could pull the sleeve up and down.
Right.
You can hide your little dick head in it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so I would imagine that when you threw your dick, the skin would just unravel off of it, and it would just become like 3 or 4.
No, it's still attached, I think.
Because I feel like, or maybe it would be like a loose dress, where like the wind is kind of flapping off the back. yeah. And like you could pull it up over the head and like hockey punch it, but it's like sewn to the neck.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But then also part of me thinks like you cut your dick off and it just becomes like 5 pieces. You know, it becomes like the sleeve.
No, it's
the
all
seminal vesicle.
It's all one piece, I think.
Oh man,
Pretty sure it is.
And then, it doesn't say that whether or not they reattached or found it or anything.
No, I just there's no confirmation on if they retrieved it or reattached it. So it could just be on the road and somebody ran it over a couple of times and it's now just embedded into the road now.
Imagine if a cop found it but then decided to keep it. It was just like as a war trophy.
How would you? It would just. It's biological matter. It would just rot into.
I think I would put it.
Pickle it?
Yeah, I was gonna say I would put it in a like Jubilee. I would put it in a pickle jar and like mark it and then save it for the festival season.
Yeah, what a way to bring a Tinder date home and be like, hey, you want to see my pickled penis?
Yeah, check out. You want to see my war trophies?
Yeah, it's not mine. I found it.
Here's
check it
this
out.
weird future man's dick that he was trying to save the world, and I stopped him. So,
oh my god,
you know what I'm saying? And then, oh man, was he I want to know if he was like screaming, like I'm trying to save the world when they finally got him, because they got him into a low-speed chase, which to me I don't think should be a thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What is a low-speed pursuit?
Low speed is probably like below 40 miles an hour at least.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, because he's riding on rims. They tire stripped him twice.
Oh, maybe
they tire spiked him twice.
Maybe
so,
like fucking 20 miles an hour then.
Yeah. So I mean,
on rims.
I just don't think. I don't think low-speed pursuit should be a thing. I think if it's a low speed, you could probably stop them. You know what I'm saying? Like they have a lot of maneuvers where they'll put a cop in front and a cop on each side and a cop in the back.
Yeah.
And then everybody kind of breaks together.
Yeah, yeah.
And you get boxed in like.
Yeah, that's what they were saying is that they boxed him in with to stop him eventually.
But do you think it was also just because like they knew his dick was severed and that he was naked and covered in blood? So part of them didn't really want this whole chase to end because they were going to have to apprehend him.
Hoping for him to just bleed out.
Oh, man. Oh,
because
dude.
if you would bleed out.
Yeah.
If you were left long enough with your dick lobbed off, you will bleed out.
Yeah. Oh, dude.
Like,
imagine when they did get him, too, when they had to do the whole, like, get on the ground. And he's going to lay on his stomach.
Yeah. On his fucking dick nub.
Just open fucking wound, just pouring out of his dick nub.
At that point, he just fucking deserves it. I don't give a shit. I have no sympathy for people who get that crazy on drugs. I just don't care. Like, I just don't.
I can't think of what a better distraction would be, though, than to cut your own dick off and throw it at a cop. Because that cop's got PTSD now. Bobby Johnson, bro. He's never...
Maybe.
Bobby Johnson's not forgetting the day a dick bounced off his windshield as he was chasing a tweaker that was trying to save the world.
Maybe it's just because my brain's a little twisted, you know?
Yeah.
But I don't know if it'd be PTSD. I think it more is to just be a joke at the expense of this idiot for the rest of his life.
Yeah, that's true. Like, I fucking threw his dick at us.
Like
fucking
some
idiot.
dumbass lobbed his dick off because he took enough drugs to think he was going to save the world. Now he's rotting in jail wanting to kill himself. Fucking moron.
Although I'd be afraid of traffic stops thinking that a dick's going to come at me at any moment. You know, what if the next person...
I would be shocked.
What if the next person cuts it off and then waits until you walk up to the
one.
car and tries to, like, hit you in the face with it?
If I started seeing multiple dicks like being thrown at me in my cop car, maybe I'll develop some PTSD.
Dude.
You know, if it was not just one
like
occasion,
he had, like, a barrel of them?
You know, like multiple occasions too. Yeah. Okay.
Like he was a serial killer?
I could see that. Yeah,
And he always took the dick of his dead?
That'd be fucking.
Yeah, and then like you're chasing him, and he's just one at a time throwing him out the back of the car. And
and if you're not careful, you're gonna be one of them.
Yeah, tons of different dicks bouncing off your windshield and rolling down, and you try to hit the wipers, it just spreads the blood around. Like you hit one and it comes like off the windshield. Yeah,
fucking falling on your windshield.
Like
and shit.
like he killed one guy while the guy was like in the middle of having sex or jerking off or something. So when the severed dick hits the windshield, hella cum comes out.
Oh.
And just splatters and then mixes with the blood. And
I think it
becomes
would
like
have dried by then.
It becomes like this weird aggressive fry sauce that the cop is spreading across his window as more dicks are bouncing off the fucking shit. I would be lost for a while. I don't know. I think I'd have to go full Steve from Blue's Clues and quit the force.
Well, I mean, if that had happened in that level of detail.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I feel like the chances of that happening are extremely unlikely. You know?
Yeah.
So if it did happen, I'd be like, there are so many rules that are being broken right now.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And then another fucking dumb tweaker thing that happened. So there was like this 18-year-old who got into like a standoff with the cops. He like leads them on a pursuit. He gets to this house, climbs up onto the roof. He's standing on the roof pointing a gun at the cops. And this lasts 6 hours.
Why?
Yeah, right? That seems like a
Why?
long time for not to somebody accidentally fire a round either way.
Well, fire fucking those bullet rounds, you know? Like,
but so this kid,
something.
because we'll call him a kid. He's only 18.
Yeah.
So this kid, he's a teenager, is standing on the roof of his like house with a gun aimed at police officers, having a full standoff. And another woman, unrelated to any of this, comes driving through the standoff on a golf cart naked.
Wow.
She's driving between, she's
What
in
the
no
fuck?
man's land.
Yeah.
She's in the fire zone for both sides, naked, doing laps, freaking out on a fucking golf cart, just hammered.
Oh my God.
Like, people are fucking losing their shit.
Absolutely stupid.
And I don't know why
bro.
they have to get naked for all this kind of stuff.
I don't either.
Yeah.
Why would you climb a house to stand out in the open? Because
Yeah.
you're even more on the open, you know, to, I don't know, just stand there for 6 hours and just fuck with cops, you know? Clearly you're not in the right head at that point, you know? So I'm always in the boat of like, literally just fucking take him down with some like rubber bullets, pull his ass off the fucking roof and drag him to jail.
Yeah, you know.
Like,
Why can't
I just-
cops have net guns?
Like, I get that, you know, drugs and mental health is a thing, you know? But when you're talking to extremes like that, I find it very difficult for me to find sympathy for people like that. You
Yeah.
know,
Well,
like
like-
it's hard because I've never been in that route. I don't ever plan to be. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, nobody ever plans to be. But I mean, there's been plenty of life scenarios where I've been offered some fucked up drugs before.
Yeah.
And I'm not an idiot. I say no, you
Yeah.
know, or
Yeah.
like I don't take it. Like I just don't like everywhere I find a scenario where I could end up doing those drugs, I'm just like, there's 90% of the time it's going to be no.
Yeah.
You know, like, and maybe you're a kid that was introduced into the drugs, which that's, again, an extreme example.
Mm-hmm.
But all these other people that, like, just, oh, yeah, like, I just wanted to do meth because meth was what my go-to was. And then they get fucking absolutely with the wrong people and then shit spirals into the wrong way, you know?
Yeah.
And it's just like, well, what do you think was going to happen, dipshit? You
Yeah.
know? Like, again, like, I know drugs is a really hard thing for a lot of people, you know? It's very difficult for me to sympathize with people who are just choosing to walk off the plank because they just don't fucking care anymore.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I
Like,
can feel the hell out of
I
that.
just don't.
Dude, can you imagine if Steve would have came up on that address and cut his own dick off and started hitting the camera lens with it? It's like he's trying to knock down
Yeah,
the
it's
door.
live. It's live broadcast or something.
He's foaming at the mouth and shit. Not wearing a shirt.
Yeah. You fucking idiot. you
All he's
know?
wearing is the hat with the crayon on
it's
it.
like, how do you get to that point, you know? How do you get to that point where you're literally altered your brain chemistry so far to where you're not even the same person you were, like,
yeah.
years ago or something?
And it's
you know?
unfortunate because it's like super common that people get to that point.
I just don't get it. I really
Yeah.
don't. I cannot relate at all.
I
you
think
know?
it's because it's one of those like gradual over time kind of things.
Yes. I
Like
can see that.
nobody does meth once and then becomes the guy who cuts his dick off and throws
Sure.
it at the cops. Like
Sure.
it usually starts as like you did it as a party.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you were laced with it. Maybe
Yeah.
somebody that you trusted gave it to you.
Yeah, or you did it.
Maybe you're trying to fit in.
and then you did some extra coke because it wasn't that bad that
Yeah,
time.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
then-
and
it slowly, surely becomes to the point where now if you don't have it, you get like the shakes.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I mean, yeah, no, there is a lot of like, because I see from where your standpoint is like, you kind of all of this was kind of done by yourself.
Yeah, you literally every
And
step
then-
of the way loaded the bullet.
Yeah, and then
Mm-hmm.
how bad should we feel when you did that to yourself?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, are you demanding sympathy for what you did to yourself? Because
Yes.
that's a weird line that we all see in
Yeah.
humans because that's common as fuck.
Yeah.
Every drug addict is a victim.
Yes.
You know, every drug addict had it the hardest.
Right.
The cards were never on their table. They always got the worst punishments. Nobody ever forgave them. It's always like they always have a reason that all of this happened, but in reality, you did this to yourself.
Yeah, and I feel like the narrative is always like, not woe is me, but it's in some way the narrative is always about themselves.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
And I think that's part of the problem, you know, is the victimhood, you know, like as you were saying, is I don't know, it's the hard thing to dissect at the very end of the episodes. But yeah, man, like long story short, it's like I think there's a very clear difference between having empathy for somebody who has gone down that route and understanding their situation and having sympathy for somebody. I don't give sympathy to much of anybody. You know, I can empathize with your situation. I'm not giving sympathy to pretty much anybody. You know?
Plus sympathy isn't even always genuine.
Right. Yeah, 100%.
You're almost, some people provide sympathy just for the social standard of, if I don't provide sympathy, then I'm an asshole.
Yeah. And if somebody gives you shit like, why are you doing all this drug shit? What the fuck's wrong with you and everything? And like, and calling them out for that stuff, like, somebody easily could see that, oh, you're not being empathetic, you're being like super aggressive and blah blah blah. And I'm like, no, I'm calling out this person's shit because I fucking care. I didn't give a shit. I just let you rot and
let you die.
I would just laugh at you.
There's too many humans. I can't care about all of them.
Yeah, dude. Like, it's just like if anything, calling people out on their shit because it's not working and it's causing them damage is that is empathetic. You know, that's like, dude, like you're ruining your life. What are you doing? You know, like, anyways.
Well, fuck. That's the end of the episode.
Fucking don't do drugs.
We miss you, Steve.
Do weed.
Yeah.
But don't do anything else.
Yeah. And if you're gonna host Blues Clues, just know that that's pretty much gonna be your whole life forever. You're gonna be the host of Blues Clues.
Yeah. You know what, Steve? I know what you need. You need black tie CBD, motherfucker.
Yep. Black tie CBD, thick one, 10% off. Steve from Blues Clues uses black tie CBD, and he uses thick one.
Yes. Advocate. He's a spokesperson, if you will.
Hell yeah. See you next week, folks.
Bye.